Good evening and welcome to today's live session. My name is Sandeep. I'm a culture and a consciousness expert. I serve businesses who are looking for a better way. Now, better way means honoring and integrating the human dimension in businesses and life for sustained credibility, growth, and profits. And today with me, I have a remarkable lady, Commander Prabha Lal. She's a Navy veteran. She is a productivity coach and warrior mindset coach. Well, warrior Navy, yes, Prabha. And she's a woman who wears many hats. So rather than I trying to introduce her, I'll invite Prabha to tell us briefly about her journey so far, what she does, and how can our followers reach her.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sandeep. As already mentioned by Mr. Sandeep, I'm a warrior mindset coach and a productivity coach. I'm also a TEDx speaker. I imbibe all the learnings, the good practices from the armed forces, and make people stay ahead of the learning curve. I speak on topics related to productivity, how you can boost your social skills, your time, your awesomeness, and I'm also known as the charismatic commander. That's my glitch line. Thank you.
Brilliant, brilliant. And what I really loved, Prabha, was awesomeness. Okay, today we are going to talk about, and the topic is, very aptly decided between Prabha and myself. Let's focus on focus. Well, focus on focus is self-explanatory, and rather than I getting into a explanation, let me start with a story. Long time ago, there was a Zen master, Ikayu. He was a very popular person. So one day, a person from the village came to him and said, Master, Master, can you give me the secret for success, love, and peace? Ikayu looked at him and said, Focus. Now, this person just couldn't understand what Ikayu means by focus. He said, Master, I'm asking for the secret. Ikayu once again looked at him and said, Focus. Now, this guy was very disillusioned, frustrated. He said, Look, I'm asking for a simple secret, and the master is not giving it to me. He said, Master, you're not understanding me. Please give me the secret. Ikayu looked at him and said, Focus. Focus your attention. And in this word, focus your attention, lies the secret of our success, lies the secret of our productivity, secret lies the secret of our relationships, and lies the secret of our peace. And why do I say so? We live in two worlds simultaneously, the inner world and the external world. And it is our attention, which connects both the worlds. And focus is the ability to hold our attention on whatever we desire, whether it's internal or external. And as everyone knows, where our attention goes, so does energy flows over there. And on whatever energy flows, that thing grows and expands. So yeah, Prabha, your take. I pass on the mic to you.
Definitely, Mr. Sandeep, whatever you have said, this is applicable in any era, whether when in the 1980s or in the present world, pre COVID or post COVID. Focus. Wherever your focus, your energy flows. And you must have noticed how much you try scheduling your day. You have your calendars, you make to-do list, or you have your checklist. But every time, don't you feel I'm out of time, I'm running out of time? Why? This happens. You work for longer hours, you travel fast by using faster means of communication just to save time. To reach a destination, you go by air or whatever. But then also, you feel I don't have time. Why? What is happening in our life? Why every time you will hear, I don't have time, time nahi hai, time nahi hai. Time nahi hai? The time remains same, 24 hours for everyone. Then why? Where are we lacking? What is missing in this scheduling, in this preparation of to-do list? As mentioned by Mr. Sandeep, distractions and focus. But this distraction is one big thing. Our attention span has become less. Earlier, we used to have 40 minutes as a class period in the traditional system when we speak about a classroom. Now, the teaching was made in a structured environment, 40 minutes, then next teacher, 40 minutes, and in between breaks. With this internet and the fast moving world, what has happened? We have moved from learning to micro learning. Reels, shorts, I've seen in YouTube have also introduced. Instagram, Reels. Why? Because now everybody wants it quickly. Abhi chahiye. Only I want this much. So when we talk about attention, we are only focusing. And in our daily lives, there are so many things. You just open your Facebook page or your Instagram page. You think that you're going to search X or Y and I'm going to see that post. But what happens? You enter into the Alice in Wonderland hole, Instagram hole, and you keep scrolling up and down and you forget what you were doing. So our focus is deviated. It hardly takes seconds to deviate. If you have control, as you mentioned, focus is something which is both internal as well as external. That attention, the control has to come from within. Why? It is important for me. Who will control? I have to control. There are various ways in which we can do focus in our life. I mean, we can concentrate. And I'm sure Mr. Sandeep also must be having his own thoughts on this. So let's hear something from Mr. Sandeep.
Well, Prabha, what you said is totally correct. The attention span is reducing tremendously. And I would like to share with our viewers two studies. Number one, it was a study done by Microsoft, according to which a goldfish has got a better ability to sustain one's attention or say focus than a human being. Our focus or our attention span on internet has been reduced to 8 seconds, whereas that of a goldfish is 12 seconds. Number two, Harvard research suggests that 47% times we in our waking time we are not in our body. So I tell my clients, I tell my the people that look, let's have a simple equation. 75 years average lifespan of a human being. Let's assume out of 24 hours, one third time is spent having a bath, sleeping, attending to nature's call. So out of 75 years, 25 years go away. Balance, you are left with 50 waking years. And if out of those 50 waking years, if 50% time I'm not in my body, this means I am wasting 25 years. And like Prabha said, then I say, I don't have time. समय नहीं है मेरे पास.
Samay.
हाँ,
Sahi mein, this word samay is really, it's an asset which we always try to take it for granted. I say this, you will say take it for granted, but sometimes we do not prioritize, we deviate from our priority, and then ho jayega. And in that run of to do a job, sometimes it is like we can take it in both ways. When you want to clean your room and you want to do it, but it's taking kal karenge, or we try to postpone it. But sometimes you get a call that some guests are arriving, and quickly, within minutes, 15 minutes, your room is damn clean. How? You have right now focused on clearing it. You are not concentrating here and there. Right now, your focus is only clearing of that room. So, if you do it in chunks, focusing your work will definitely happen. That's for sure. Yes, Mrs. Sandeep.
Yes, and like Prabha said, the work will happen, right? And on the lighter note, I'll say when the guest is arriving and I got to clear the room, I open my cupboard and shove everything into the cupboard. So externally, it looks very clean, but internally, I create a mess. And
Yes.
this is what we have done internally to our bodies, to our psycho, to our mind. This is what we have done internally. We have
Mhm.
created a mess inside us. And the good news is we can sort out the mess. Okay, now let's talk of attention, right? And the ability to focus. We go to the gym, exercise for our muscles to build up, the physical muscles. Now, neuroscience, brain science says even attention is a mental muscle. Like you build your body in a gym, similarly, in the mental gym, you can build your attention muscle. And the more you build your attention muscle, automatically better becomes your focus. And there's a lot of neuroscience to support it. I read a paper recently which said 4 days of mindfulness exercises. Now, mindfulness means being aware of the
Mhm.
present moment, right? Exercises helps in building the attention muscle, and building an attention muscle is something like building any other cognitive ability. It is as simple as that. And let me share with you a very simple technique to build the muscle. And then Prabha has got a bag of tricks to how to apply that built up attention muscle in the external world. And then how do we marry that, both of them, for success, peace, and love? Okay, our brain is a organ of reactivity. It draws from the past and just reacts. It's an organ of habit, and at the same time it has the ability to restructure and reorganize itself as we go forward. Now, whenever we think something or we do an act, neurons are fired, they move in a particular pathway, and that becomes the permanent route for those neurons till the time we keep on repeating those actions and thoughts. The moment we have a new thought or we do a new action, again neurons are fired and they move in a different direction. And the more you repeat that thought or action, the old pathway tends to fade away and the new pathway tends to become stronger and stronger. So, this is the brain biology which helps us to change habits. Now, as far as the attention is concerned, since our attention loves to stay in the past or the present, we got to train it to stay, past or the future, we got to train it to stay in the present. And all you got to do is focus on your breath for 5 minutes every day. Close your eyes and focus on the breath. Bring your attention to your nostrils and just feel the sensation of the in breath and the sensation of the out breath, as if that is the only thing which exists for you at that point of time. What's going to happen? Very soon, your attention would just float away. Your attention would wander. The moment you realize it has wandered, bring it back to the nostrils. Keep doing this thing for 5 days. I'm sorry, 15 days, 5 minutes every day. and you'll start seeing the change in you. Because what are you doing in these 5 minutes every day? You are sending a signal to the brain that, look, I'm the master of my attention is not my master. It's a very simple exercise. And okay, I've had people coming to me and saying, we don't get time to meditate. Okay, fine. You don't get time to meditate or sit down. Brilliant. You get up in the morning and everyone brushes, right? I'm sure everyone must be brushing. So, those 2 minutes when you brush, focus on brushing and only on brushing as if what matters to you in life is only brushing. And believe me, even this is going to work equally beautifully because over here also you are sending a signal to the brain that I am the master of my attention. My attention is not my master. And once the attention starts developing, your five senses you'll find become better, keener, more powerful, sharper, and a profound change in your personality begins.
That's really nice. On that brushing note, we call it the brain gym, and sometimes we do it without thinking. It's just a routine brushing. So instead of using your regular hand, right hand, try using for once your left hand, and that day you will feel okay. You can feel your teeth. Okay, it's going here. I need to brush it up and down. So when you're doing it this way for once, you will realize I have forgotten to brush. I that particular time you will realize, okay, I am brushing it, maybe not in the correct way, maybe not properly. So this is a brain gym, a small exercise which we generally tell people when we talk about focusing, because one, you are doing it without being mindful, brushing normal way. Thinking definitely helps. Try doing it with your left hand, and you will see that suddenly your entire focus is right now on brushing your teeth only, because right now you have to build a habit, as he mentioned, a new thing, setting patterns. The way he spoke about mindfulness, being present in that moment and that small exercise, there's one more way. We call it the Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro is that tomato shaped, there's a timer. So if you have to do a particular job, a task, two things you can do. That task can be divided into many parts, and you have to set the intention first, that if a particular task is there in your mind, the moment it comes in your mind, you're supposed to just immediately jump on to one small activity pertaining to that task. It could be sending an email, it could be anything. It could be picking up the phone and speaking to the concerned resource person or the concerned person. Start with one small job. That's one. And the Pomodoro technique. Focus. For 25 minutes, put everything on silent mode. If required, go on the airplane mode. You have to write a book, you have to write an email, a long pending task. 25 minutes, put the timer. Start doing it and promise to yourself these 25 minutes, you're not going to do anything else. After finishing those 25 minutes, take a short break of 5 minutes and then again restart in case your work has not been done. So, this is one more technique through which you can do, and this can be done in parts. In between, after completion of 4 sets, you can take a long break. At the end of the day, you will realize that, oh God, this task was long pending, and at least I have begun. Well begun is half done. Right, Sandeep?
Many, you are right. You see, while you were speaking, I was reminded of a real life example. I was doing a seminar or say a workshop. It was in fact a retreat, not a seminar, not a workshop. It was a 2 days retreat for college professors in Uttarakhand. So the third day, one guy comes and says, "Sir, thank you very much." I said, "For what?" He says, "The relationship with my wife has improved." I said, "Okay, what do you mean relationship with your wife has improved?" He said, "Look, you gave me the habit or you gave me the tool to focus. So when I went home, I started focusing on what she was saying. And then I realized I've been married to her for a good 10 to 12 years, but I never really understood her.
Ah,
And the moment I understood her, my reaction was very different from the routine, normal reactions which I used to give her. And
hmm.
as a result, she reacted very differently. So within 24 hours, we have discovered two new personalities in each of us, of which we were totally unaware. You see, so focus is such an important thing. And this is the reason I said I brought love into it, because I've seen when you focus on the other person feels happy, feels accepted, feels acknowledged, feels appreciated. And yes, the bonding does
Yes.
happen.
Yes, even in relationships, this focus is very important. As you mentioned, earlier you take people for granted, but once you start focusing, you see the little things, things which were seen but not, appreciated, or how do we say, it is around, but you are not aware of the things. You start noticing the little things in your life. You start appreciating. You start observing. The difference between seeing and observing, similarly, when you focus, you are mindful at that moment. You may realize, let's in the case of relationship, your wife, or howsoever, you will start noticing. Sometimes you may feel, I am seeing her face. I don't know when was the last time I saw her. Saw her in the sense not that seeing daily. Like sometimes it happens with us also. We are daily used to brushing our hair, and but when was the last time you stood in front of the mirror and you focused only on yourself? Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
Prabha, we have a question from my friend Prashant Menon. Prashant says, what could be one way to bust the digital device distraction? This is one I'm trying to work on.
Apply that Pomodoro technique. Go offline for those 25 minutes. Within that 25 minutes, nothing is going to, fall down. If it is important, they will somehow reach you. If it is that important, there are other ways and means of connecting. If it is very important for a colleague or a member, these days in the house, there are 7 devices. Even if your mobile is off and it is so critical, if it is very important, then they will reach out to somebody else. So within those 25 minutes, concentrate, go offline. And also one more thing, before sleeping, these days we do not have our alarm clocks. What we use mobile phone also as an alarm clock. Before you go to sleep, at least 15 minutes, I'm not talking, ideally it should be 2 hours, go offline. You're keeping your mobile phone near your head. The kind of transmission, it could be your mobile signals, I mean messages, not the internet part, but your normal phone calls, or the transmissions which is happening, it is going to affect you in the long run. So go offline. Airplane mode zindabad.
That is true what Prabha said, Prashant. I totally resonate with what she says. The other thing which I would like to add, use the visualization exercise with an intent. Just try and visualize if your mobile is not with you for half an hour, let's put it this way. What is the worst which could happen? And try to remember all the times in the past where you didn't have access to your mobile for an hour or 2 hours. What the worst did happen? And you'll realize that, well, it was more of a story created by your mind, right? It was more of anxiety that, okay, if this thing happens, if what? Believe me, if what is one of the most, what should I say, harmful thought. If what? And there's no answer to if what. So Prashant, a resolution, a resolve, a intent with what Prabha said, and a little bit of visualization that okay, even if the mobile is not on for half an hour or 1 hour, everything is going to be brilliant. And believe me, it'll be brilliant.
True, as you
So,
were mentioning this, I was remembering one of my holidays in Andamans, and signal was not there. So definitely, this mobile phone was only camera, alarm clock, and a device which was having all the contact numbers. And that urge of frequently scrolling down, some messages have come, that was not there. And within few hours, it was all normal for us, and suddenly you realize you have so much of time, you had gone with your family, and so much of time. And really those days, some of the best memories of my life. Digital detox, which we call, people these days go on digital detox, they go on a holiday without their mobile phones. So why to go on a holiday? We can do it on a daily basis, if at all. The word which he used is resolve. If you want, you can.
you see, I'm a big fan of resolve. Let me be honest with you. I started smoking when I was 17. For 40 years, I smoked. And for 30 years, I made bahanas or excuses that I'll give it up and never really resolved to give it up. I think all smokers go through it. And the day I took the resolve that, okay, I am going to quit smoking, and from that day, I've not touched a cigarette. Well, I do admit that initially it was tough because it was more of a psychological habit to hold a cigarette in your hand. It was a biological need for that nicotine to go in and burn your lung and the track and everything. So initially it was difficult. So I did also have the withdrawals symptoms, right? The addiction withdrawal symptoms. But then the resolve took me through, and within a week, 10 days time, cigarette had
Mm.
started becoming a thing of the past. So if a habit of 40 years, which was impacting me at the emotional level, at the physical level, at the biological level, similarly, if I could kick it up, right, I'm sure digital kicking up the digital habit or compulsion is definitely much more simpler.
Yeah. On this note, I recall the term minimalism. When you have less, you own less, you enjoy those things more. Too many distractions not required. Focus. Focus. Like they say, like we must have seen those sadhus and all those who go up to the mountain. One focus. With this focus, I feel you concentrate all your energies towards that. And he, in the beginning, also he mentioned, Tony Robbins also says, where focus goes, energy flows. And it is really true. When you start focusing on a particular thing, you will see that the entire universe, it puts his energy. कहते हैं ना वो डायलॉग फ्रॉम द मूवी ओम शांति ओम, दैट फेमस डायलॉग, कि अगर आपने कुछ मन में सोच लिया है, सो पूरी कायनात उसको पूरा करने के लिए आपके साथ देती है, समथिंग. सो similarly is the thing for focus. If you're focusing on a particular thing, you will suddenly notice that the universe has started to open its door. Why? Because, again, see and observe. You have started noticing the little things. Instead of seeing, right now you're observing. There will be many distractions in your life. Time management. Many people talk about time management. Now, what is this time management? I feel everybody has the same time. You cannot manage time. Time is so powerful. I feel you can only manage your priorities. And there is a very nice on when we speak about the focus. There's a very nice way of, I would say, deciding where to put your focus. There's a book by Rory Vaden, Procrastination on Purpose, and it talks about a focus funnel. It gives you the permission where to focus and also the permission to procrastinate. Procrastinate? Yes, it gives you the permission to procrastinate on purpose. But who will decide? You. The funnel is very simple. It's just like a normal funnel, inverted triangle. The first level is eliminate. Is this job really required to be done? If not, if it is not important, if it is a red herring, like in the armed forces, we talk about situations which are red herring cases. That means it is only for distraction. If you're going for, let's say, a war-like situation, which is important, and you hear a lady crying, "Mere sone ka chain kisi ne chura liya hai." Somebody else can take care, but you are right now going for a war. So these are red herring cases. Your focus has to be on the thing wherein you want to focus. So, can you eliminate? That's one. If it can be eliminated, forget it. Move ahead. Second step is automate. Can we, with these days with the technology, let's leverage technology. Can it be automated? If I have to post a message, can it be scheduled? We have those scheduling of our social media post or sending automatic replies. Can it be automated? Software, that way, or pre-recorded phone calls, whatever you can think of. Automation can be at different levels. It could be even your washing machine. You can set the timer. These days you have. Why not leverage on the technology? You can schedule it for a particular time. Okay, so these are certain examples for automate. If even after automating, it cannot be automated, it cannot be eliminated, it cannot be automated, that means it requires a human interference. So then what? Delegate. Delegate within your team, within your environment, or it could be outsourced. Outsourcing is outside the environment in which you are. So, like if for working professionals like us, I have delegated my household thing to my maid. I am not a super person. I'm not a superwoman. I cannot do everything on my own. So what I do is I delegate certain aspects of my uh, responsibilities, my priorities. It is important, mind you. It is important. So what I have done, cooking of a meal, having nutritious meal is important. So I have delegated it to my maid. Sending my ward, my son or child from place A to place B. So I have delegated it to a driver. So similarly, find ways and means. Can it be delegated? Can it be outsourced? You cannot do everything on your own. If it cannot be delegated and outsourced, then you are the one who will be doing that particular job. And this is where you come as a person, your involvement. And here you get two options: whether to do it right now. It may be important, but is it urgent? Here you will do it now. Can it be done at a different time, a later time? This is procrastination by purpose. You're giving yourself the permission to procrastinate by purpose. There's a purpose to it. It's important. It is not sidelined. But right now you're focusing on a particular job X, which has to be done immediately right now. And this job has to be done definitely, maybe after completion of this work or maybe the following day. It's also important. So these are the ways. So it talks about how do you multiply your time. It's like multiplying your time by giving yourself the permission to spend time on things today so that you get more time tomorrow. So this is a very nice concept and a simple one, a simple focus funnel, which we all can, use it to decide whether it's a red herring problem, automation, delegation, or whatever. So I found it very useful. Focus funnel.
I totally love this focus funnel concept, because two things are happening over here. You are training yourself to be focused. At the same time, you're also creating time for yourself so that you could enhance your enjoyment, you could enhance your purpose, you could enhance your meaning by of life by becoming more effective and efficient in whatever you are doing. So yes, I totally loved what you said, Prabha, and I'm sure even our audience would have loved it. In between, Prabha used a few sentences in Hindi. Okay, for our audience who are overseas, I'll just translate it. What she was saying, if you have a firm resolve or you think with absolute intention, genuine intention, right? The universe, the nature gathers and creates a force behind you and goes all out to help you to achieve it. Was the translation okay, Prabha? This is what
Yes,
you this is what you meant, right? So
inspires actually.
so
Yes.
if you want nature to help you, if you want nature to stand behind you, and believe me, nature is much more powerful than human beings, eh? Is much, much, much more powerful. So if you want that power to be behind you, make you focused, make you successful, make you loved, make you lead a life full of meaning and purpose, resolve. Be intentional in whatever you think and do. Apply yourself with focus and determination and see the magic happening. And Prabha has already given you the tool that is the focus funnel. So, what would you like to add to it, Prabha?
Definitely. If you can control on your thoughts regarding focus, try doing it one activity and just see to it at the end of the day where you were and what you have achieved. Start with one activity. You will yourself see things which you were neglecting for long. You will see that, oh God, I have completed 20%.
And,
Happens.
what comes to my mind is it's a very simple thing, that is stop criticizing yourself, start assessing yourself, stop judging yourself, start assessing yourself. So, again, two things are going to happen, like Prabha said. Yes, you'll get time, you'll improve, you'll be training your mind. At the same time, this will also help you to get out of the habit of reacting and you start responding. And believe me, folks, success has got everything to do the way you respond to situations and take action. So when it comes to focus, it's up to you now. Respond and take action, or keep thinking about it, keep waiting for tomorrow, and believe me, tomorrow will never come. So, Prabha, we usually have our discussions for 30, 35 minutes. It's been 40 minutes. So why don't you tell our viewers where can they find you?
See, I am available on Instagram as well as on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, you can search me by Commander Prabhalal, CDR Prabhalal. And on Instagram, I am known as the charismatic dot commander. So after this talk, I'll be posting in the comments also. You may contact me. Thank you.
Brilliant. And guys, you already know where I am. You're on my page. So please feel free to get in touch with either of us. And we promise you we'll try to help you to the best of our ability. Thank you and namaste.